Whoever sees this and subscribes right now will get free style. It's not written. Just ask Quentin Miller. So today, man, we are kind of back with our reaction series. I thought it was just time for another one of our fireside chats. I mean, after this one, I'm sorry, parents, there's going to be a lot of broken iPads and upset children who need to be tucked into bed early this evening. So those of you who follow the magical, wonderful world of Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. There has just been an unheard of and unprecedented level of backlash over Eminem's recent verse that he dropped on Cordae's Parables remix. I mean, I broke it down on this channel. I went through it all. We did a deep dive analysis like we always do. And honestly, I mean, that was my first time listening to it, my first time working through it, and I really enjoyed it. So then afterwards, when I go online in the fake world where opinions don't really matter, I saw just so much people just critiquing. I mean, people saying, you know, M's verse was mid. And yeah, that's okay. Listen, music is subjective at the end of the day. I mean, you know, I can give an opinion on your opinion and tell you that I think your opinion is terrible. But what's funny to me is when people talk about an artist like Eminem, talk about someone who has given as much as he has given to the game and done as much as he has done, and speak like it's from a factual, objective perspective. You know, when you say just it's mid, his verse was mid. Eminem, it wasn't that good, right? There's a difference between saying it like, yeah, that's how it exists, you can't disprove it, or starting a sentence with something like, I think Eminem's verse was mid, or I just didn't enjoy the verse. I didn't think it sounded very good. See, that's my opinion. That's a way of expressing your opinion. But when you talk about something as if you are the hip hop overlord and you know everything and every type of critique that you can give, well, then sometimes we might have a problem, boys and girls. I mean, honestly, from my perspective, listen, you look at the parables. I thought it was very clever of Cordae to relate it to his own personal stories, his own parables. And he talked about sort of his come up and his struggle and what he came through, and talked about the lessons that he learned, much in the same way that a parable is meant to teach. What did Eminem do? Eminem, like I pointed out, matched Cordae's theme of that, taking us through his story, taking us through his struggle, taking us through his come up. So he's stuck in line and in theme with the entire song. And on top of that, in true Eminem fashion, he came through with just ridiculous flow switches. I mean, this is what I've said so many times before. You give 100 rappers a beat, 99 of them will not find the flow that Eminem finds on the beat. He's at the point now where he just does these unique sort of polyrhythms, these off rhythms. He's just really pockets that push it and give it a totally different feel, and that to untrained ears, they sound like they're out of rhythm. They sound like they don't fall in line with the track. But really, to MCs like myself and people who have really religiously listened to hip hop for years, who study this, who understand the rhythmic schemes, he's in time. He's always in time. He doesn't fall out of time. It's just because it's such an odd pocket over even metric schemes that it just sounds different to the ears a lot of time. But I appreciate it because of how unique it is, and how technically I know there's so many other artists who just will never ever find that as long as they exist in their careers. And on top of that, on top of the unique flows, like we point out, Eminem is at a point where the multi-syllable rhyme schemes and the condensed internal rhymes are ridiculous. I mean, like every other word that M speaks nowadays falls into some type of rhyme and some type of scheme. And again, I already broke down the song. If you guys want to check that out, I'll put the link to this below, but I'm just kind of giving the cliff notes on this right here and giving a perspective on the situation. And third, it wouldn't be an Eminem song. And third, it wouldn't be an Eminem verse if he didn't have double entendres, even triple entendres. I mean, the wordplay that he brings and how creatively he can bend homophones and make things fit into schemes, that for me just shows another separation factor, a different level from Eminem. So you've got him staying in line with Cordae's theme, right? You've got him matching Cordae in terms of what he talks about for this song. So from a meta perspective, tick that box. You've got just crazy flows. You've got crazy internal condensed rhyme schemes. And on top of that, the wordplay to match. I mean, that for me is just an all-around, technically superior performance from Eminem. And that's what he does. I mean, at what point do we just step back and go, you know what? He's the GOAT. He's one of the best to ever do it. There's a reason why he has the longevity that he has in the game. Let's just appreciate him while he's here, because there's been so many that aren't here anymore that we would give anything to still be able to listen to live, to still have here in person. And I think the problem that we have is expectations a lot of times, because he has set the bar and the standard so high, and he's talked about this, that we just judge him on a completely different level than we judge other artists, than we judge other MCs. I mean, is it fair? Who knows? I think it's more of a compliment to Eminem because of just how we put him under the microscope. But listen, whenever he drops something, you know that there's just going to be a ton of people who love it. There's also going to be a ton of people who hate it, because that's the nature of Eminem. He's very divisive at this point in his career. There's a lot of jealous people that wish they could have his success level and be where he is, but hey, shit happens. That's life. So what do you guys think? Did you like Eminem's verse? Did you not like it? Why didn't you like it? Comment down below. Or maybe you heard Eminem's verse, weren't sure about it, came here, watched my breakdown, had a new appreciation for it, and then maybe now you listen to it from a new perspective. I mean, that's kind of a win-win all around. So while you guys are battling away with the keyboard trolls and warriors out there, don't forget one very important thing. Opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. Just don't show it to me, though.